Are you in love with a woman, but too afraid, too scared to confess how you feel to her? Are you anxious or terrified that she'll reject you? And are you worried that you won't be able to recover if she does? So you say nothing. You hold it all in. You pretend that you feel nothing for her. Faking a cold, dead heart. Is that you? Have you been doing this? It doesn't work. It doesn't work, you guys. When you say nothing, oftentimes the love that you feel for her, it doesn't just stop suddenly. It gets bigger. And along with that bigger feeling of love that you keep stuffing down inside yourself, so does the pain, the jealousy, the anger, the frustration, the disappointment, the fear tends to get worse instead of better when you stuff your feelings down. And as you're stuffing it all down, then the likelihood of you having an emotional outburst, a temper tantrum, it increases. But typically what ends up happening is that men who are in these situations, they end up lashing out at the object of their affection, at the, not that women are objects, obviously, it's just a saying, maybe not the best saying, but you end up lashing out at the woman that you love because you're not expressing to her your romantic interest, especially if you see her being pursued by other men. That's when I see these situations go sideways very quickly. Not able to go forward, but not really able to go backwards either. Stuck in limbo land. So what you want to do is be honest. Start by being honest with yourself. Are you really going to let the potential love of your life get away without a fight, without exploring what it could be? And if you are, then maybe you don't really want it. Maybe it's just a distraction. If you do really want it, here's what you do without scaring her away or freaking her out. Because I know that you guys are concerned about that. Make your romantic interest very clear, be honest, and be direct. The key with this, you want your level of expression to match approximately the level of intimacy that you already share. So I'm going to give you 3 specific examples of how this might look, and specifically what you can say to her if you don't know what to say. Number 1, a situation where you see this woman occasionally. You're not close. You don't know her very well. I'm not going to get into any type of judgment of whether that's right or wrong or appropriate. There are situations where people really do genuinely feel that they've fallen in love at first sight. I'm not here to judge that. What I do want to point out is that you're in love with the idea that you have of her, which may or may not be true. And until you get to know her, really, you don't know if it's true or not. And you don't know if different parts of what you think are true or not. So the level of intimacy that you share at this point in time is small. So do not confess your love yet, or you will scare her away. Most likely. Maybe if she feels the same way about you and it was love at first sight for her also, maybe she won't get scared. But I would not recommend taking that risk right off the bat. Get to know her first, the real her, and do it by making your romantic interest clear. Otherwise, you may miss the boat. So what you're going to do is ask her on a date. It can literally be this simple. You can say, I would love to get to know you more. Can I buy you coffee sometime? That's it. By you saying, I want to get to know you more, and by saying that you want to buy her coffee, it's much more clear that your intentions are on a more romantic level. So there's no guessing or wondering, what is he really getting at? What does he really want? What's he after? That helps women feel comfortable because they know exactly what your intentions are. And then they can decide, are they interested in exploring that or not? Number two, situation where you are already close, but not in a romantic way. Maybe you are friends. Maybe you have mutual friends where you see each other in the same social circles regularly, or maybe you work together. Now, obviously, if you work together, you need to familiarize yourself with the HR rules, and you do need to tread a little bit more carefully because you don't want to put someone in a situation where they feel like they have to go out with you. The biggest thing with this is to know that she owes you nothing. Have no expectations. Here's what you can say to her. I really like you, and I would be interested in possibly more than friendship. How would you feel about going on a date with me? When you ask a woman how she feels about exploring a more romantic kind of relationship and just taking it just one little step further, you're showing her that you actually do care about her feelings and her wants and her needs. You're showing that you understand it's not just about you. So even if this is a work situation where, let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that it's acceptable in the place that you work to date your coworkers. Again, you want to make it very clear that she doesn't owe you anything. There are no expectations, there are no demands. It's not going to come back to haunt her, that you actually care about her, how she feels, where she stands with it all, whether she's actually even comfortable with it. By just saying, I like you, and not saying I love you, you are reducing the risk of her getting freaked out and, wanting to just separate you out of her life. But if you just come at it with, I like you, I'm interested, how would you feel about this? You're just opening up the communication. So you are matching the level of expression with the level of intimacy that you already share, and you are making it much safer for her to be honest with you about where she really stands in the situation. All you need to do in this situation is get clear on whether you are moving forward with her or moving on without her. And she'll have to make that decision for herself. You holding on to the idea of how much you love someone when you don't share that kind of relationship with them, it's just torture. It's hard. And especially if you do end up seeing her become exclusive with someone, you need to know that, you gave it a shot, that you didn't waste your opportunity, that you didn't wait too long. It's one of the biggest fears that men have when they have feelings for a woman. If I let it go too long, she might get snatched up by somebody else, because you know that you're not the only one that sees something valuable or desirable in her. It's a very common fear for men. If you really do care, you've got to take action to make it possible to explore the potential that you feel, that you sense with her, and see if she feels or senses that potential too. Number three, this is a situation where you are already close in a somewhat or very romantic way. Situations like this, it's not uncommon for men to become fearful of expressing their feelings to the woman that they love, even when they are already dating her. Maybe you're not exclusive yet, or maybe you are, and you're just terrified that she'll run away when you tell her how you really feel. There are a lot of different ways that this can look, but if you're already romantically close, this is when you do want to tell her point blank how you really feel. Tell her that you love her. Confess your love to her. Express yourself to her. She most likely wants to hear it. For women, a lot of times, even when that feeling is not returned in that moment, and sometimes it comes later and sometimes it doesn't, there's no guarantees with that. But for many women, if they have already gotten romantically close with you and you express how you feel to her, chances are, in most cases, she will be at the very least receptive and caring to your feelings. And for many women, it actually makes it easier for them to open up and express their feelings to you when you express yours and you display that confidence and courage with yourself and your emotions. It helps them feel more safe to do that as well. So it's okay to feel scared, to feel anxious, to feel nervous, to have the butterflies. But you do just want to be honest, open, and direct, clear with her about how you feel. So if you're spinning around, what words do I say in this situation? Then you're thinking too hard about it. Literally 3 words. I love you. Say it like you mean it. Say it from your heart. Women love that. You don't have to make it complicated, and then you can let the conversation just naturally evolve from there. That's it. And, if it does send a woman running for the hills, then is that really a woman that you want to continue to invest your love into? If she can't get over her fear or her rejection issues or betrayal issues, whatever it is that comes up for her, if she's not willing to look at that stuff and face it in order to explore more intimacy, a deeper relationship with you, then, maybe somebody else could. And what would that be like to actually have that returned to you? Bottom line, at the end of the day, because I love bottom lines, women love emotionally mature, honest men. We love men who know how to be direct. We love men who know how to express their feelings without placing demands or expectations or throwing insults at us if we don't respond the way that they wanted us to. That is confidence. That is attractive. That is sexy to women. Women love that. So be prepared for rejection, but don't expect it. Be okay with rejection, but don't expect it. It's not personal. And if a woman does reject you, all you really have to say is, well, I had to try. Don't ask a woman why, just, I had to try. So shoot your shot, guys. Shoot your shot. Don't hold it in. When you stuff, you hide, you push down your feelings, it's almost like this explosion that happens that you have no control over it, and you end up doing and saying things that you regret later that push her away. So you don't want that to happen. And the easiest way to prevent that from happening is to express yourself. Just remember, the key is to have the level of expression match the level of intimacy that you currently share. And then she'll either accept or decline your invitation. And it is an invitation. She doesn't owe you anything. If she's not interested, for whatever reason, making your intentions clear, it takes that whole regret thing off the table, and it makes it so much easier for you to move forward without her if that's what you end up having to do. But remember, at the very least, at the very least, you got closure, and that makes it easier to move on. At the best case scenario, she's interested in exploring this possibility with you. And then you may actually get to experience your dream woman firsthand. That sounds pretty good. I hope you like this video. Be sure to hit the like or the subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you then. Take two. Cut that part out. Not able to go. Oh, my stomach just growled. Hungry. It's lunchtime. Are you anxious? No. She's confused. She doesn't understand what the heck your deal is. And for you, you're just stuck in limbo land. You're